In number 1, you're given a right triangle and you want to find the length of AC. So I'm going to put an X on AC. And when I look at this, right away I know that I'm going to be using right triangle trig, so SOHCAHTOA, because of the fact that I have a right triangle and because I have an angle and one side given to me, that tells me I'm going to be using SOHCAHTOA. So first thing you want to do is you want to identify the opposite, adjacent, and the hypotenuse. So I'm going to circle the angle that they give me. I'm going to go across from it. That's going to be the opposite side. The hypotenuse will always be the side across from the right angle. And the adjacent will be the side next to the 44 that's not the hypotenuse. So this is going to be the adjacent side. So then when you think about SOHCAHTOA, you want to figure out which one of these you'll be using. And we don't have anything on the adjacent, so that means anything with an A in it I won't be using. And I'll be using SO, which stands for sine. So what I'm going to do is it's going to be sine of the angle, which is 44, is going to equal the O, which is opposite, so X, over the hypotenuse, which is 15. And then to solve this, you're going to put sine of 44 over 1, and you're going to cross multiply. In your calculator, you want to make sure that you're in degree mode. So when I cross multiply, it's going to be 15 times sine of 44 in the calculator, making sure you're in degree mode. So when I solve this and we're going to round to the nearest tenth, I'm getting 10.4. So that means the length, or AC, is going to be 10.4. Number 2 here is asking us to find the measure of X in this triangle. Again, I know I'm going to be using right triangle trig because of the fact that I have a right triangle, I have two sides, and I'm trying to find an angle. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to circle the angle. I'm going to go across from it. That's going to be the opposite. Hypotenuse will be opposite that right angle. And the adjacent will be next to this side. So then we're going to think about which sides we should use. So SOHCAHTOA. And when we look, we don't have anything on the hypotenuse, so we're not going to use the hypotenuse here. So I'm not going to use anything with an H in it, so that means I'm going to be using TOA, which is tan. So I'm going to do tan, and remember, it's always tan of the angle. So the angle is X, so it's going to be tan of X equals the opposite, which is 5, over the adjacent, which is 12. And then from there, we need to get X by itself. So in this case, since X is connected to the tan, we have to take tan inverse of both sides to undo tan. You can't just divide by tan because the tan and the X are attached. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the tan inverse to get X by itself, tan inverse of both sides here, and the tans will cancel, you'll be left with X, so it'll be X equals tan inverse of 5 over 12. And we're rounding to the nearest tenth of a degree. So when you do that in your calculator, you're going to get 22.6 degrees if we round to the nearest tenth.